I've heard it said.
One thing that Miss Deeley taught me was to never judge a book by its cover. When I was a student here, I did not have her as a teacher, but she scared me to death because she has the best teacher face in the world, and she stood at the end of the hallway on the third floor and made sure we were quiet during the halls. When I came back as a teacher, I learned that she is one of the smartest and most compassionate teachers that we have here, and it has been a joy to work with her and see her motivate and teach students in ways that I never imagined would be. So that's what the life lesson with Miss Deeley.
Like a comet pulled from orbit.
My favorite memory of Gloria is the first time I came to Assumption, and I was interviewing for the position, and I arrived, was heading up the front steps, and there was Gloria, and she opened the door and she said, "Welcome to Assumption High School. We're so glad you're here." And it was with such warmth and such sincerity that it was a little bit overwhelming to me at that moment, but I knew that I wanted to be part of this community. And I remember that as that was my very first moment. That was my very first introduction to Assumption High School, and I'll never forget it.
So let me say before we part, so much of me is made of what I've learned from you. You'll be with me.
My favorite memory is I get to start every morning with her. She works with teacher subs, so we get to start every morning before 7 a.m. together. And it is just a great way to start the day of making sure we have a teacher in every classroom, usually with a lesson plan. That's our motto.
I don't know if I have a specific memory of Miss Deeley, but certainly just I remember her class really well, both how challenging it was, but it was also incredibly interesting. It was just a really good experience my sophomore year.
My favorite memory that I have from Miss Deeley is from this year when she spoke at the Mercy Day prayer service, and her entire speech was very well done, but the most memorable line that I think a lot of people will always remember, and that will probably be said a lot often here at Assumption after she leaves, is you can take the girl out of Assumption, but you can't take the Assumption out of the girl. And I think not only for me, but as I said before, for the entire Assumption community, that will be super memorable and a really good way to wrap up her time here at Assumption.
I don't necessarily have a favorite memory of Miss Deeley, but I do remember that as a student, I always wanted to make sure I did everything right. Miss Deeley was a quiet, very kind teacher, but she also had a mannerism about her that made you want to do the best you could in class. So.
Like a handprint on my heart. And now
Mrs. Thornburg has taught me lots and lots of things. One thing I think she's taught me is that compassion and kindness are the most important qualities to have in a person. And if you're compassionate and kind, that you're living your life in the right way.
I would say the life lesson is that in life, at the same time, there will be great highs and great joy and lows at the same time, and that is life. That you're celebrating here, but someone else is suffering, and celebrating when it's time and being with the one who's suffering at that time is so important. It's that both of those things happen together, and that God is present in both of those things.
A lesson I learned from Miss Thornburg is to be really intentional with my prayer life. She writes prayers that are unbelievable, and they just really inspire me, and I want to be really intentional with my prayer life because of her.
I think that the main life lesson that I've learned from Mrs. Thornburg, or Gloria, is that to look at the big picture of life and to not get caught up in the small things, because it's the big things and the service that we do for others which is the most important. And it can elevate us in our times of trouble.
With Gloria, the biggest life lesson I think I have learned is to be aware of what other people are feeling and to look deeply into them. Gloria is always very compassionate and very aware of the needs of the community. I think there have been so many behind the scene things that she has actually orchestrated at Assumption that nobody will ever know, but she is always looking to make sure that people are okay.
Our stories end. I know you have rewritten mine.
It's really hard to come up with one word to describe Mrs. Deeley. She is the type of person who will do anything for you if you need help with something. She's so giving. She's so smart. She's one of the smartest people I know. She's kind. She's funny. There's so many great qualities that Nora Deeley has that I'm really going to miss.
Calm.
Wise.
I'd have to go between brilliant and hilarious.
I would describe her as supportive.
Definitely funny.
By being my friend, like a ship blown from.
She's one of my go-to people. When life is stressful, when I just need a friend, I run upstairs and just catch her for a minute. Miss Steinke always knows that if she can't find me, that's the first place to look. So I will miss her desperately next year.
Her ability to construct a prayer service that is so spiritual, so meaningful. Nearly every prayer service that I've experienced here at Assumption since I've been working here for the last 2.5 years, I've been moved to tears. They're all so very meaningful and so spiritual and deep. And I am just extremely appreciative of that, and really am going to miss her wisdom and her ability to share that with us.
Her laid-back, casual way about life.
The thing I'll miss about Miss Thornburg is she's kind of the Mother Earth figure to me. I feel like if there were ever a problem in my life that she's the one I would go to. If a big scary thing happening, she would give me a hug. She would assure me that things would be all right again, as she's done before. Just her calming presence, her motherly, Earth Mother presence is what I'm going to really, really miss.
One final thing that I am going to really miss about Gloria are her prayers, and the fact that at any time, it doesn't matter what the occasion is, I'm able to turn to her and say, Gloria, will you lead us in prayer? And it's always perfect. So I'm going to miss her impromptu prayers. I don't know who we're going to lean on for that, but that's something we're going to really miss Gloria and her ability to take us to another spiritual level.
Who can say if I've been changed for the better? Because I knew